Hop on the internet and you're gonna find dozens of talking heads like myself talking about the many mental and physical benefits that come with cold plunging. Now, if you don't know what a cold plunge is, you're basically hopping into water that's under 50 degrees for a target time of around 3 to 5 minutes. I've reviewed a handful of cold plunges by now for y'all, and guess what? We got another one today with the Redwood Outdoors Alaskan Cold Plunge Tub. We got a fun one today, so let's hop right on in. What's up, y'all? It's Jake back at the BarBend Garage Gym, and we're outside today because we got the Redwood Outdoors Alaskan Cold Plunge Tub. In this video today, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this icy plunge, from the price, some pros and cons I noticed, and then of course who should or maybe should not buy one of these. Now, before I do all that, I gotta let you know we've reviewed a ton of cold plunges on BarBend.com. So if you want to browse our best list, just go ahead and search BarBend best cold plunges, and you can find out for yourself which ones that we like the best. All right, so let's talk about some things I like about this cold plunge. And first of all, we gotta talk about the build. So it's made from a Scandinavian Thermowood. I think that's really cool. There's actually some tree sap right here on the side. And also, it just kind of gives it, that outdoorsy look, hence the name Redwood Outdoors. I also like how there's a built-in seat in here. Not every single cold plunge that resembles a barrel like this, has that. So it just adds to your comfort, during those icy plunges. It's also lined with plastic to, help keep it insulated and keep those water temperatures, cool and really where you want it to be. And then lastly, it's not the most compact option on the market, but once you compare the size of this to the cold plunges that resemble a bathtub, this is a really solid option for those who are tight on space. All right, now there are a few potential cons I noticed with this plunge, so let's talk about that real quick. I want to talk about money first. All right, I'm going to detail everything, more in just a second, but this lid is not included with the plunge. So the plunge itself is around $2,000, which is pretty expensive. You're also going to be using a lot of water and a lot of ice, which you might consider to be wasteful unless you spend even more money and go after the chiller that's going to regulate the temperature for you. Speaking of temperature, unless you go and get that chiller, it's all going to be impacted by the weather outside. So we're in Nashville, middle of summer. It's hot. I put 60 pounds of ice in here yesterday, and it was all melted within maybe 15 minutes. And that's also because you're using hose water, which is only around 55 degrees or so, and that's obviously impacted as well when it's hot outside. And then lastly, I want to talk about the lack of a hose hookup with this drain. That's going to be a problem for anybody who wants to direct the water away from their plunge and anything that's surrounding it. So definitely keep that in mind as well. Okay, so let's talk about some money now. And as always, products like this, the price is absolutely subject to change. So definitely keep that in mind. But as of right now, the Alaskan Cold Plunge Tub from Redwood Outdoors itself is right around $2,000. Once you tack on shipping, that's around 2,400 bucks. That's a chunk of change for a wooden barrel without very many features going on. And guess what? It gets even more expensive. So once again, this lid is not included, and there's a floating thermometer. If you add those on, it's going to bump it up to around $2,130, and then tack on shipping, that's over $2,500. It's a lot of money. Now, if you want the chiller to regulate the temperature for you, that's going to bump you up to around $4,800. And then if you want to take it up a notch with hot water, that's going to be around $5,800. And remember, you still got to tack on shipping. So you could spend over $6,000 on this product right here. And once again, that's a load of cash. Now, compared to the other models out there, it's actually pretty average pricing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's cheap. Now, if you want, you can definitely find some cheaper ones out there, or you could just use a preferably clean plastic trash can and always hop in that, or even your bathtub at home, so keep that in mind as well. Now, unless you spend more money on that chiller or the chiller heater combo, this plunge is not going to filter your water for you, so you'll probably want to scoop up one of those 3 water maintenance kits they have on their website. So let's talk about them for just one quick second. So the SpaGuard water balancing kit is going to be focused around decreasing the pH level and increasing the alkalinity. It's gonna run you around 100 bucks or so. The Spa Guard bromine cleaning kit is gonna cost you around 250 bucks. And if you wanna avoid harsh chemicals altogether, you can go after that all-natural water cleaning kit. It's gonna run you around 350 bucks. So as of now, you cannot purchase the lid separately on their accessories tab, but you can purchase the floating thermometer for about 30 bucks. And you can also get a new filter cartridge for about 50 bucks. Now, when it's all said and done, this is an expensive purchase. There's no sugarcoating it, but you are paying for a luxury experience, and you're definitely getting that here. I really like the wood. I think that's really sweet. You also got the seat built into it, which is really cool. Not every single cold plunge out there has a designated seat, which is obviously a really nice thing. And then speaking of the luxury, if you go after the chiller, the heater, all of that, it's going to filter your water for you. And that's about as luxurious as it gets. You just come out here, take the lid off, and hop right on into it. But, with a purchase like this, where you're spending this much money, if you're not using it multiple times a week, I think you can, make the case that you should definitely go after a cheaper option. That being said, you absolutely can finance this purchase, so definitely check that out too. Okay, so let's talk about the build and some of the features you'll find with this cold plunge. Once again, it is made from Scandinavian Thermowood, and there's even tree sap right here on the right, which doesn't do anything. It just speaks to the overall quality and the fact that this is real wood, which is really nice. It's just over 3 feet tall. It's a little over 3 feet wide, maybe right at 3 feet wide, and the actual opening itself is right around 2.5 feet wide. The seat sits about a foot or so, maybe a little under a foot from the bottom of the plunge, and then it's about a foot wide. So you have plenty of room for you to sit on it. I really like how it came with this ladder right here. It's just easy to get in and out of it. And then, obviously you have your drain down at the bottom. Remember, it does not have a hose hookup. So, whenever it comes time to drain the water, just be prepared for, pooling, basically a puddle of water, unless you, rig something up yourself to kind of, direct that water away. It also holds up to 130 gallons of water, which is a lot, but you don't even need that much water in here. I would suggest only doing around 50 to 60% of it or so. Sorry, there's some trucks going on. I guess they don't know that I'm filming right now, but I would only put around 50, to 60% of it with water. That way you can add plenty of ice, and also, your body's, you're hopping in it, and that water doesn't overflow everywhere. All right, so now it's really time for the fun here. We're gonna do a full walk around, and I'm gonna hop in this cold plunge in just a second, but I wanna just break everything down and up close. I really like this, the steps right here, they're really nice. Same Scandinavian Thermowood as you got right here. And I really like how there's a little curve right here. So this seat, the steps are just gonna fit nice and snug up against your plunge, which is just a really cool thing right there. Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, and you could consider this a bit of a con, is that you're gonna have to stain this wood if you plan on keeping it outside. Having the sun beat down on it and everything is actually gonna turn this wood a bit of a grayish color. So if you wanna avoid that, definitely, get some stain and stain this bad boy. All right, so we got these, I guess, clamps you can call them right here. Now this came pre-built, so you don't have to worry about dealing with any of this. Whenever you get the box, it's all put together already, which is really nice. But yeah, so that's cool right here. It's gonna keep the wood, nice and secure and uptight against the actual tub, which is a nice thing. Now, got your drain down here, and this is how it works. It's pretty simple. You just twist it, the water's gonna flow out, but there's no hose hookup right here, which is a bit of a bummer. You're just gonna have, a ton of water just pulled up around your plunge, and that could be a problem, especially, if you have any cords, electricity, all that stuff. Maybe just don't want all that water around you in general. So definitely remember that as well. This lid, remember, does not come with your purchase. You're definitely gonna have to get this, or else all that cold water is just gonna escape, and you don't want that. Now, inside right here, I've already put 60 pounds of ice in here just a few minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago tops. And as you can see, it's pretty much already all melted. There's a few pieces right here, but it's pretty much all melted. So I'm gonna add some more in just a second, but I just wanna go ahead and show you guys, you do have your seat right here. You do have your thermometer. We're sitting at 52 degrees right now, and I put 60 pounds of ice in it. It dropped 30 degrees in about 10 minutes or so, or 25, whatever. So that's pretty nice, actually. You got your seat down there, and at the very bottom, you can see your drain. So that's pretty much it, honestly, guys. Now, it's time for the fun part, right? Let me go ahead and set this lid off to the side. Got my ice right here. pre-ice bath anxiety starting to kick in right now, but it's okay. That's how we build mental toughness. All right. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go all the way under just to start, might as well, right? So a bit of a fail on trying to go under, but that's because of that seat. Honestly, I'm not gonna complain about that at all right now. This is really cold. I think we dropped a little bit more. We're rocking 50 degrees. It's gonna drop below that, which is ideal. It's what you want. You know, some of those other ones that have the chiller and stuff can go below that, can go around 36 degrees. You might not necessarily need that. That might be a little too cold, actually. This is definitely gonna get the job done. And I actually really like this seat. It's deep enough so that pretty much my whole body is in it. Woo! Yeah, that's pretty cold. Only problem is that, you know, this ice, it's already starting to melt in my body temperature and also just, you know, the temperature outside. So definitely keep all that in mind. But overall, I mean, this is pretty solid. You know, the inside right here is about 2.5 feet wide. So it's really only a one-person plunge. 3 feet wide in total, maybe around 5 feet with the steps right here. It's about 3 feet tall or so. That's about all there is to it, guys. This is a really nice cold plunge, and you know, I really like this wood. Makes it really high quality. All right, so let's talk about who should purchase the Redwood Outdoors Alaskan Cold Plunge. This is a pretty good space-saving solution for those who are tight on space. That's because it's a little over, you know, 5 feet wide, including the steps right here. But you could actually, you know, stack that on top of the lid, and it's only going to take up about 3 feet of space, which is a really nice thing. Now, also, I really like how it's, you know, plastic. That makes it super easy for you to clean, and it's going to make the inside pretty durable right here. Now, also really like the wood. You know, that little combo right there makes it really high quality in my opinion. Just remember, you are going to want to, you know, stain this wood unless you're keeping it under a carport like we have right now. And then lastly, you know, it's just the benefits of cold plunging in general. You know, there's a lot going on. You can read all about it. I'm not going to bore you to death right now, but, you know, specifically for me, you know, dealing with, you know, tough situations and, you know, putting your body in that fight or flight, you know, scenario, this is a really good way to do that and just kind of, you know, build more mental toughness in my opinion, which is really cool too. And then when it comes to those who might not want to purchase this cold plunge, really, to me, it's just, you know, with money and then, you know, regulating your water temperature. So once again, you know, this tub by itself is $2,000 and it's not really going to regulate your temperature. You know, you can put, like I said, I put 100 pounds of ice in here, and this is kind of hanging around a little bit right now. And the temperature is, we're now sitting at 44 degrees. It was at 70 degrees when I put the first 60 pounds in there, which is good. You know, it dropped, but that's, you know, I just spent like $50 on ice for one sitting. So, you know, that could be a bit of a bummer for some people, unless, of course, you know, you go and spend more money and you go after that chiller or the chiller heater combo to where it just does everything for you. But then you're, you know, flirting with spending, you know, close to $6,000 on one product. So if you do that, you definitely, you want to use it pretty much daily or maybe even every other day just to make sure you're really getting your money's worth. But if you don't, then, you know, you run into that issue of being super wasteful with, you know, the plastic bags, the ice comes in, the actual ice itself, and all the water and everything. So, you know, those are really my main reasons on why somebody would not want to purchase this bad boy. That's all I got for y'all today on the Redwood Outdoors Alaskan Cold Plunge. It's one of my personal favorites right now. It's super high quality. I really like those Scandinavian Thermowood. Just remember, you're going to want to stain it if it's outside. It's pretty well insulated too with this plastic, which is a nice touch. Just remember, you know, it is an expensive purchase and you're going to have to use a lot of water and a lot of ice, you know, every time you're hopping in here, unless you spend even more money and going after, you know, the chiller or the chiller heater that's going to take care of everything for you. At the end of the day, though, you're paying for a luxury experience, and, you know, you're definitely going to find that to be evident as soon as you hop in here. I did. Thanks for watching, y'all. I hope this video was really helpful. I was able to answer anything you need to know about this cold plunge. As always, keep your eyes posted for my next video, but for now, head over to barbend.com because we have a full written review just waiting for you to read. Go ahead and search BarBend Redwood Outdoors Alaskan Cold Plunge Review. Our article is going to pull up. You can go over everything we talked about here today. I'll catch y'all next time.